Hi there, Jeff here from the Wetsuit Centre, talking to you today about the Billabong Foil Winter Wetsuit for 2013 into 2014. Now, we've been doing videos about the foil for quite a few years now. Basically, it's been Billabong's entry-level wetsuit for quite some time, and when we say entry-level, it's usually sort of more at the bottom of the range of wetsuits that Billabong do. But that's going to change now. You've got the Intruder, which comes in as like a real basic wetsuit for Billabong now. And the foil has been bumped up to more of a sort of high-spec, mid-range wetsuit. And the reason for that is because it now has 100% Superflex Neoprene, which I'll talk to you about in a second, a little bit more depth, and a few more features like things like thermal lining, which take it from an entry-level wetsuit into more of a sort of high-end or mid-range wetsuit. But still a really good budget wetsuit, a fantastic winter wetsuit. And it's got a very good reputation and does sell well every year. But we're going to kill two birds with one stone. And I'm going to show you the sort of two versions of the Billabong foil in one go. You've also got the chest zip foil, and that's basically the same wetsuit, just slightly different in terms of the entry system on the wetsuit. So I'll show you the sort of technical difference in a second. But the Billabong foil then. So from an unbiased point of view, Billabong's wetsuits have sort of undergone quite a big transformation over the last few years. Previous years, being honest, their sort of quality sort of 4 or 5 years ago was a bit questionable, which gave them not a fantastic reputation in terms of longevity of the suit. But that's definitely been addressed, and now the suit, especially the Billabong foil, is competitive with the sort of equivalent, which is the Epic from O'Neill and the Dawn Patrol from Ripco. And you're getting very similar features with the particular suit. The things that I like about the foil is the 100% Superflex Neoprene. It's really good. It's very soft jersey in the wetsuit. It's called AX2. 100% of it is made of that. It's very, very soft and flexible. And one other thing I really like about the suit is it's a healthy, generous 5mm of neoprene as well. So it's a 5/4 this wetsuit. So you've got 5mm on the lower leg, and then you've got 4mm on the arm, which suits UK conditions quite well. So it's nice and chunky, and will keep you really warm. And one thing I really like about it as well, the jersey, or the actual outer layer of the neoprene, it's really, really soft on the suit. So it's going to feel great against the skin, and it's going to sort of give the impression of being more flexible and easy to get on and off as well, because it's very smooth, easy to get your feet on and off. So it's really going to suit people that like to have a suit that's easy to get on and off. The sort of seams themselves, worth me coming back over again, are glued and blind stitched, and one other thing I do like about it is the seam placement. So what they've done here, they've got a very open cuff on the wetsuit. You see that seam coming across here on the wrist. It makes it easier to get on and off again as well, because it opens up really wide the arm then, and it's easier to get your hand through. But all of the seams are glued and blind stitched, so stitched on the outside, on the inside they're then glued and taped to make sure they don't rip apart, but also make sure that they don't let any water in as well. Okay, so good old-fashioned GBS seams, which are really, really important on a winter wetsuit. So that's some of the features I do like. I also like the single-line collar on wetsuits as well. So what I mean by that is basically, with some of the suits you get like a roll neck collar, which is 2 pieces of neoprene butted up together. And what that does is sort of allows the outer piece to roll independently, which stops you getting rash around your neck. But where it's quite thick, it's quite restrictive around your neck, and I find it a bit choking sometimes. It's fine if the suit fits well, but I prefer the single line collar, which Billabong have done here. What I don't like about this is the dip in the front of the neck. Yeah, basically. Some people really like this, and basically what that's done is done to accommodate the Adam's apple, so it dips under the Adam's apple and makes it a bit more comfortable. I find it's a bit low, personally, okay, and what that does for me, it makes it a little bit more prone to flush throughs. So with that sort of looser collar where it dips underneath, although it feels very, very comfortable, it might just be the particular fit with me, but I didn't like the way it dips down, and it's a little bit prone to letting in water. Okay, so that's a kind of like more of a downside of things that I don't like about the suit. Okay, this particular suit is the back zip version, which I'll talk you through in a second. One other thing worth mentioning, the thing I do like as well, is the Billabong puff up the knee pads, so you can see the way it naturally sort of falls. It's kind of pre-bent knees. Which means your knees kind of slot into these pads because they're kind of oversized and they puff out a little bit to accommodate your knee. Same Duraflex material, which just is very robust, stops any water, wear and tear on the knee, and it's sort of wearing through. So that's a nice little feature. All of the seams are very well placed on the suit. One a little bit of a downside, there might be a few more seams on this wetsuit than there are with the competitors like the Billabong, the Rip Curl Dawn Patrol. But how much difference that will make, I don't know. But essentially, yeah, the seam placement's good, so diagonal seams, pre-bent seams wherever you need them. The cross seam in the wrist there is a nice little touch to get the suit on and off and nice and easily. With the back zip, nice little feature that you do get. So nice long zip, adjustable Velcro neck, and underneath you get this high back panel. Okay, this is really similar to some of the competitors these days, and something you didn't previously get in the more sort of standard Billabong foil. So basically, the zip undoes, then underneath the zip, you get this back panel that comes up nice and high, and stops any water coming straight onto the skin, basically through the zip or through any flush throughs through the top of the suit. So it's just to promote getting water out of the wetsuit and staying drier for as long as you can. The inside of the collar is smooth skin lined to stop any rashes and sort of rub there, basically, which is kind of a standard thing on any decent suit these days. So if I reach inside the wetsuit, I'll show you what's going on inside. Now, as I said before, one of the sort of best things about the suit is it's really, really soft and flexible. I can imagine this suit is really easy to get on and off. And some people that really, we speak to a lot of people on the phone, obviously, and something that people really hate is suits that are hard to get on and off sometimes. So this suit is really going to suit someone that likes to be able to slip on the suit nice and easy, get out of it nice and easy. Sometimes we find that a lot of the time as bigger guys who really struggle sort of getting in and out of suits. We've all been there, found yourself stuck inside the suit and you have to ask some stranger in the car park to try and free you from your wetsuit. So this is really going to sort of go down well with people that have that problem and prefer to avoid it. So inside the suit, you can see basically the AX2 neoprene is this silver stuff, and again, really, really soft and flexible to the touch the whole way through the wetsuit. One thing Billabong have done as well, they've taped and critically taped and actually liquid sealed some of the more vulnerable parts of the suit. So the back panel is liquid taped into the suit and then critically taped on the joints. And basically what that does is just make sure that it's not going to pull apart, gives you more longer shelf life to the wetsuit. So it's nice that Billabong are thinking about stuff like this these days. The orange stuff is the thermal lining. It's like a polypro material, and basically it's kind of like a sewn fluffy plastic stuff. And what that will do is insulate you on the core of the wetsuit. That's the whole back panel as well, which is a nice touch, and basically very good insulating thermal properties. Will help store heat in the suit longer and keep you warmer for longer in the water. Okay, a lot of the stuff that goes into wetsuits these days can be a bit gimmicky, but the good old thermal lining does actually make a difference in terms of keeping you warmer. It makes a big difference, and you get that on the front as well. Okay, oxygen infused. Okay, so who knows what that means, but basically it's thermal lines. And critically taped on the points there you can see around the suit. That's the back zip. And what I'm going to do, quickly show you the chest zip. So, very similar cut in terms of the chest zip, but then this suit just favours people that prefer the chest entry system. Now, that will make the suit harder to get in and out of, because obviously you're getting in through the neck, but one of the benefits of a chest zip system is that you don't have a zip on the back of the suit, which frees up the whole back panel. That means you've got more flexibility through the back. You've also got an unbroken collar around the neck, so it's less prone to flush through. Might be a bit better at keeping out water. But on the downside, because you're getting in through the neck, basically it can be a bit harder to get in and out of the wetsuit. The inside of the suit is going to look pretty much the same. Okay, you've got thermal lining around the back and kidneys, and thermal lining around the front, but you don't obviously have the back panel because there's no need for it because you don't have the back zip. But essentially the way the suit works, you've got the inside of the wetsuit is brought right up to here, so any water that comes in through the side or through the collar meets this piece of neoprene and then it's channelled out through the wetsuit, either through the drain holes around the front or around the back, or through the side of the chest zip system. The chest zip system is sewn over the top of the wetsuit and then comes up and over your head and fastens across the front. Okay, and that just sort of clips here. Out of all the chest zips that I've tried on, this one's nice and easy to get on because again you've got the AX2 neoprene, not too much restriction, nice wide opening on the chest, so it is actually pretty easy to get on and off for a chest zip wetsuit, so that's definite bonus. Downside, you've got a zip which opens from the outside in, which means with your cold fingers you have to fiddle with this zip sometimes just to get it to clip on. Okay, which is a bit annoying, but it's not too much of a hassle. That zips across there. Okay, and the only other downside is it's a plastic zip. Now the plastic zips we found are pretty good. I usually find I treat my suits pretty badly, and they usually still last for a sort of good 2 years, 2-3 years. Then you might be more prone than the metal zips to obviously to break. But the reason they use the plastic zips is they're also less likely to corrode or seize up. Okay, so that's pretty much everything going on with the Billabong foil. Comes in the mid-hundreds, and it's a fantastic wetsuit. You know, it's quite straightforward, super stretchy neoprene, thermal lining, good cut, minimal seams, and glued and blind stitched. So if you're looking for sort of like a budget, good quality wetsuit that's not too hard to get on and off, then the Billabong foil is definitely a really good option this year. It's all about the fit though, at the end of the day, so if you know you fit well in a Billabong as well, you won't be disappointed with the foil this year. It really does feel fantastic. So, the Billabong Foil Winter Wetsuit for 2014.